Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 105. Zhengqin. After spring started, Beijing was covered in yellow sand, and the wind was strong enough to blow people away. As soon as the car turned, the side windows were covered with a layer of dust. Zhi Xiaoduo and Chen Lang sat side by side in the back seat, and neither of them knew what to say for a moment. Zhi Xiaoduo touched Chen Lang's hand to comfort him. Chen Lang quieted for a while, before he asked for a pen and quickly wrote a large paragraph down on the piece of paper. A lot of higher-ups have joined the Exorcist committee. Teacher Zhou isn't there, because the Mount Ba incident from back then was thoroughly investigated and the verdict was overturned. Zhi Xiaoduo. Chen Lang signaled to Zhi Xiaoduo and Xiang Cheng to not interrupt, and continued to write. After Teacher Zhou was brought back to Beijing, he and Wan Yuanji were put under house arrest. Their whereabouts are unknown, and I don't know where they're being locked up. The specific reasons why the verdict was overturned had to do with him. National Security investigated Teacher Zhou because they believed that he killed Xiang Cheng's father, Xiang Jianhua. Lin Yura also participated in the Mount Ba plan and they launched their plan and killed their colleague. Lin Yura also inspired her great-grandson to use his power to kill several exorcists. Who took over the Exorcist committee? Xiang Cheng asked. After Zhi Xiaoduo translated it, Chen Lang replied, Grandmaster Qiao Yan. Zhi Xiaoduo, where is the old Buddha? Chen Lang, she is under investigation and may undergo a trial. They have come up with a large list of names, and apparently, it's full of people whose deaths were related to Yanfei. There's a lot of top-secret information, especially inside information on the battle at Mount Ba 10 years ago. Only Gerger knew about all this, but Gerger disappeared a week ago. They sealed off all the information, and even Kita doesn't know. Xiang Cheng said, call Kita immediately. Zhi Xiaoduo called Kita, but Kita just replied that he knew and then hung up. Chen Lang quickly wrote, Xiao Ben came back and was transferred to the organizational department to take over Gerger's position. All of them were watching me. Zhi Xiaoduo's heart thumped. Xian has he let me out? Chen Lang said. He wanted me to go to Chongqing to find you guys, but you have already come back. Do you know where Teacher Zhou is locked up? Xiang Cheng asked. After Zhi Xiaoduo translated, Chen Lang shook his head. Xiang Cheng let out a long sigh and leaned back in his seat, frowning. I saw their interrogation materials. Chen Lang continued, it said that Zhou Mokuo and Lin Yura plotted together to lay a trap, which involved taking Xiang Jianhua and Xiang Cheng as hostages to coerce Yao Ji into revealing the whereabouts of the seed of Mara. During the battle at Mount Wu, their judgment was off, resulting in the deaths of more than 40 exorcists. Finally, Zhou Mokuo also killed Xiang Jianhua, who had protected Yao Ji. This was their biggest crime. Before the Battle of Mount Ba, there were several homicide cases, all of which were ordered by Lin Yura, which Zhou Mokuo sent people to carry out. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, who is in charge of the Exorcist committee now? Is it Master Qiao? What strange behaviors has he exhibited? Chen Lang, he is now the head of the Exorcist committee. He has worked with the people who came from up top to conduct a structural reorganization, as well as various reviews. Your arrest warrant was temporarily lifted by Xiao Ben, but he said that you guys should definitely not return to the Exorcist committee. Zhi Xiaoduo was already a little dizzy now. Who exactly is the villain here? Xiang Cheng asked, are there any connections between Qiao Yan and the old Buddha? Chen Lang, I don't know. Chen Lang was rarely involved in the political struggles of the Exorcist committee, so it was no use asking him. Xiang Cheng and Chen Xiaoduo both found themselves a little at a loss for what to do. Where are you going, Lang dog? Zhi Xiaoduo found that the car was still on the highway and had been going around on the 4th ring road, over and over again. I'm taking a spin. Lang dog said cheerfully. Where are you taking a spin to? Xiang Cheng asked. A place to eat, Lang Dog replied. We're busy with business, why are you talking about eating said Zhi Ziaduo. Lang Dog could only bark a bit and then fall into an aggrieved silence. Xiang Cheng thought for a while and said, let's eat first and slowly figure out something. Zhi Ziaduo held Chen Lang by the hand. Chen Lang was obviously anxious but he couldn't think of any good plans right now. Zhi Ziaduo knew that Chen Lang must be very anxious now, just like he had been during the days when Xiang Cheng had disappeared. Where should we go to eat? Xiang Cheng asked. Lang Dog, you pick said Zhi Ziaduo. Is Donglai Shan okay? Lang Dog panted. Lang Dog really liked to eat Donglai Shan mutton. Last time when Zheng Qin had invited them to eat, Lang Dog could only wag his tail and order some mutton hooves and eyes and the like. Yes. Zhi Ziaduo replied. He suddenly remembered something, would it be best to go to Zheng Qin first? But he didn't know where Zheng Qin lived. Zhi Ziaduo held Chen Lang's hand, and both of them were bone-tired and fell asleep in the car. Xiang Cheng was pondering things. When Lang Dog parked and came to open the door, he looked at Zhi Ziaduo expectantly. Zhi Ziaduo rubbed his eyes and shook Chen Lang to wake him up. How long have you not slept? Zhi Ziaduo asked. Chen Lang lifted 4 fingers. Lang Dog shot out like an arrow, flying out to order food. Xiang Cheng asked for a private room, then asked Chen Lang, what did your Gerger say before he disappeared? Chen Lang, we suspected that there was more to the Jixian case. When the dishes came, Chen Lang had no appetite at all. He just talked and gestured at the same time, explaining all the speculation that he and Chen Zhen had had. Zhi Ziaduo vaguely noticed something. That is to say, there was someone else on the original special operations team. Yes. Chen Lang replied. According to our analysis, the Blood Devil had an inside agent in the Exorcist committee, but this inside agent was intercepted by another mysterious person, so that he would know the Blood Devil's orders. And this person was probably the mastermind behind the special operation team. Xiang Cheng was silent for a moment, then said, this person has to fulfill several conditions. First, he had to return the Sword of Wisdom to me. Second, he had to plot to overthrow the old Buddha. Third, he had to know the Blood Devil very well, which was why he was able to counter Wang Lei. Chen Lang, yes, Wang Lei was probably this person's confidant from the beginning. Xiang Cheng, do you still remember what happened with the Sword of Wisdom? If we can follow the clues from the Sword of Wisdom, maybe we can catch Wang Lei, or even find that person. No need to search. Xiang Cheng said, I know who it is. I will see him in just a bit. Chen Lang was shocked. Zhi Ziaduo said, You know who it is. I have a guess. Xiang Cheng gave Chen Lang some food and said, I promise that your Gerger will be fine. As long as he doesn't, whether or not he's sold out the old Buddha, he will be fine. Zhi Ziaduo was about to translate, but Chen Lang guessed most of it from reading Xiang Cheng's lips. Who is it? Chen Lang asked. Xiang Cheng tapped Zhi Ziaduo with a chopstick and pointed towards his bag. Zhi Ziaduo looked puzzled, unzipped it, and Xiang Cheng's chopstick fell on the Hunshan blade. Someone who knows the origin of the Blood Devil, Xiang Cheng said, and also is connected to the Special Action Team. This person has already gotten rid of Zhou Mokuo and Lin Yura. Who else has benefited the most from the changing power structure in the Exorcist Committee, besides Qiao Yan? And Qiao Yan is from Zheng Qin's faction, remember? During the Exorcist exam, he was the one who invited Zheng Qin to join. But this cannot be the most important piece of evidence. Zhi Ziaduo said, this is all inferring things from their relationship, there's no hard facts to prove it. Do you remember a detail? Xiang Cheng raised his eyebrows, drank a little wine with an indifferent expression, and said, after returning to Beijing, I have spent this entire afternoon thinking about what happened with Li Ying. What? Said Zhi Ziaduo, his mind blank. Xiang Cheng, you've gotten dumb, what are you always looking at me for? You're hot Zhi Ziaduo smiled and looked at Xiang Cheng's profile. Xiang Cheng kissed him and passed a little beiju to him, and Zhi Ziaduo's face suddenly began to heat up. Xiang Cheng's chopsticks twirled around his temples, signaling for him to think. Zhi Ziaduo had a discussion with Chen Lang. Chen Lang asked, does the Feng Shui master also know the Jixian? How did he know about the Sword of Wisdom? Zhi Ziaduo. Let me invite the Jixian for you. The Qi family got the news from him and knew the whereabouts of the Sword of Wisdom. Once entrusted with a task, carry it out as best you can. Several fragments flashed through Zhi Ziaduo's mind. He knows Zheng Qin, said Zhi Ziaduo in surprise. That's right. Xiang Cheng replied absently, teacher Zheng sent the news to the Qi family through him. Li Ying knew something but he didn't say it, and only told us to go back to Beijing to find teacher Zheng. Zhi Ziaduo quickly translated this for Chen Lang, and Chen Lang's expression stiffened. In your conjecture, A is the blood demon and B is Elder Zhen. Xiang Cheng motioned to Zhi Ziaduo to translate to Chen Lang, who finally understood. What does he want to do? Chen Lang quickly asked, the Exorcist committee is already under his control now. Zhi Ziaduo signaled to Chen Lang, teacher Zheng should not be a bad person. Chen Lang, he must have a goal, Gerger has been detained by him. Xiang Cheng, count on me to settle Chen Zhen's business. Don't be anxious, I don't care whether he sold out the old Buddha or not. He treated me as a friend in the beginning, so now, no matter what he did, I will also treat him as a friend. The blood devil is already dead, and the grievances from 10 years ago have nothing to do with him. Chen Lang simply nodded, and Xiang Cheng said to Lang Dog, you have been with Xiao Lang recently, so you are in charge of protecting him. Zhi Ziaduo said to Chen Lang, for now, go home first, don't go to the Exorcist committee. Lang Dog will accompany you. Chen Lang, I want to go with you guys. Xiang Cheng waved his hand, and Zhi Ziaduo wouldn't let Chen Lang follow. He looked at Xiang Cheng, and Xiang Cheng signaled at him to relax. Just give it dog food. Zhi Ziaduo laughed. No need to cook anything specially for Lang Dog. Chen Lang's stubbornness bore no fruit, so he took off his ring and put it in Zhi Ziaduo's palm. If he was really caught by teacher Zheng, Chen Zhen will not be in any life-threatening danger, Zhi Ziaduo said to Xiang Cheng. Xiang Cheng was still silent. Zhi Ziaduo looked at Chen Lang. Chen Lang only ate a little bit before stopping, falling asleep on the table. What do you think Zheng Qin is like? Xiang Cheng said, is he kind or malicious? Zhi Ziaduo found it hard to judge. Xiang Cheng said, he returned the Sword of Wisdom into our hands, plotted so much, killed the blood devil using our hands, and has now infiltrated the Exorcist committee to expose the Mount Ba matter from back then. Zhi Ziaduo replied, I keep feeling that he is on our side. It's also possible. Xiang Cheng drank the wine in his cup, then poured it again, and replied, we both became his chess pieces by accident. Zheng Qin is the person behind the highest level of the Exorcist committee, and perhaps his plans have been going on non-stop for a very long time. Zhi Ziaduo replied, yes, but for the three things of returning your Sword of Wisdom, helping to kill the blood devil, and letting us leave the Exorcist committee, I think he at least has no malice towards us. Xiang Cheng nodded and said, Zheng Qin has been helping us since we met. But there is one thing I haven't figured out this whole time, that lightning. He probably didn't cast that lightning, replied Zhi Ziaduo, and the magic weapon we made hasn't come into use yet. Xiang Cheng took the little totem from his coat and looked at it. Neither of them spoke. Lang Dog. Xiang Cheng said, don't eat any more. Lang Dog looked at both of them, and Xiang Cheng said, take Xiao Lang home now, and take the car. Keep him safe. Lang Dog let out an "oh," got up, and shook Chen Lang awake. Chen Lang was completely out, so Lang Dog had to carry Chen Lang away. After the car started outside and left, Zhi Ziaduo said, "What should we do now?" "Pay the bill." Xiang Cheng said, "Someone will come soon." "If you are right, Zheng Qin's disciples are waiting outside for us to finish eating." "How did he know we came back to Beijing?" Zhi Ziaduo asked. Xiang Cheng snapped his fingers and signaled for the waiter to come over with the bill. Sure enough, the waiter said, "Sir, the bill has been settled. Someone is waiting for you outside." "Please come in," Xiang Cheng said casually. A man came in, dressed in a Zhongshan suit. He stood in the doorway. Zhi Ziaduo remembered that this was the disciple who had been following Zheng Qin last time, when they met in the elevator. Xiang Cheng poured a glass of wine and put it on the table. The disciple nodded slightly, took it, and cleanly drank it all. The bottom of the cup lit up. "My name is Cao Ran. Shifu has extended an invitation to you too," said the disciple. Xiang Cheng and Zhi Ziaduo got up. Xiang Cheng shook out a coat and put it on Zhi Ziaduo, and they went out with the disciple. At night, Beijing seemed to be shrouded by towering skyscrapers everywhere. A strong wind roared through the city, and the trees along the road were almost snapped in half. There was an elongated hunky H9 parked in front of the street, and the two people got on. "The neck of spring is short," Cao Ran said. "Shifu knows that there is no place for you two to stay in Beijing, so he's specially made other accommodations available." Xiang Cheng let out an "N," put one hand on Zhi Ziaduo's knee and the other on the back of Zhi Ziaduo's hand, and squeezed it slightly. Zhi Ziaduo looked into Xiang Cheng's eyes and read the words "rest assured" from his gaze. The car left the city. The sides of the road were dim, and then it got on the highway. For the entire several hours that the drive spanned, no one spoke. When the car got off the highway and drove into a deserted village, a huge manor appeared under the moonlight. The manor covered several square kilometers, and the trees on both sides of the garden were almost snapped in half by the wind. The metal gate opened, and when the car drove into the manor estate, Zhi Ziaduo saw that the street lamps on either side of the road were wrought in strange shapes. The lampshades had a special defensive rune on them. When getting out of the car, wind and sand blew in their faces, and Xiang Cheng shielded Zhi Ziaduo from the side. The two men quickly stepped through the main door, and the door slammed shut. Zhi Ziaduo had thought that based on Zheng Qin's style, he should be living in a luxurious Chinese mansion. He hadn't thought that it would be a Western-style manor instead. "Please follow me," the disciple said. Xiang Cheng and Zhi Ziaduo followed him upstairs. The disciple took them to a corridor, and two bodyguards signaled for them not to follow them. Zhi Ziaduo looked at them and felt some Yao Qi. Both bodyguards were Yao. Zhi Ziaduo didn't dare use the dragon pupil to look at them. The door was opened, and Zhou Xian's song flowed out. The room was very spacious, and the fireplace was equipped with an electric heating device, emitting red light outward. "You've returned." Zheng Qin closed the book in his hand, and Xiang Cheng and Zhi Ziaduo bowed together. "Let me see," Zheng Qin said. Zhi Ziaduo looked at Xiang Cheng, and Xiang Cheng motioned to him. Zhi Ziaduo pulled out the records and the Hunshan blade from his bag. The bodyguard took it and passed it over to Zheng Qin. "Come here," Zheng Qin said slowly. "This old man is afraid of the cold, which is why the heater is still burning in April." When the two men went over, Zheng Qin wanted to pull the knife out of its sheath, but Zhi Ziaduo said, "The power of the blood devil is still in it, and the resentment is very dense." N. Zheng Qin replied with satisfaction, "I knew that if I entrusted this matter to you, you would definitely succeed." "Did the Jixian tell you?" Zhi Ziaduo asked suddenly. Zheng Qin smiled, shook his head, and looked back at Zhi Ziaduo. "Shixing's business is finally done with." Zheng Qin took off his sunglasses, looked at the fire thoughtfully, and then put the Hunshan blade aside. In the midst of the silence, Xiang Cheng said, "What else do you want us to do?" "I avenged your parents," Zheng Qin said slowly. Xiang Cheng and Zhi Ziaduo were shocked at the same time. Zheng Qin said, "I wanted to go to the Battle of Mount Ba back then, but I really couldn't move these old bones." "You also knew?" Xiang Cheng said in a trembling voice. "Of course I knew." Zheng Qin smiled, without looking at them. "My Shifu lived his whole life caring about the bad disciples that came out of our sect. Now you two helped us kill the traitors. I should say thank you." "It was what should have been done," Xiang Cheng replied. "But," Zheng Qin said to himself, "my disciples are really disappointing, and our Zhuhua sect matters should have been resolved within our sect. Instead, they have now been entrusted to two brothers outside of the sect. If this is spread around, het." Zheng Qin laughed and looked at Xiang Cheng. Zhi Ziaduo didn't know why, but he replied, "We will definitely keep the secret for you." Xiang Cheng waved his hand, and motioned for Zhi Ziaduo to not speak. He thought for a moment and replied, "My father said before his death that the Xiang family are Akalanatha's descendants. This junior has the desire to do so, but I cannot completely take on the name of teacher Zheng's disciple, or else that would be really good. Naturally, I dare not," Zheng Qin said, and then looked at Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo was a little confused when he saw Zheng Qin's golden dragon pupils. He looked at Xiang Cheng again and wondered, what did Zheng Qin mean? He suddenly had a realization. Did Zheng Qin want to take him as an apprentice? "Ziaduo is a good child," Zheng Qin said. "Are you willing to?" Xiang Cheng asked Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo's heart jumped wildly, and he probably understood what Zheng Qin meant. I have to think about it." Zhi Ziaduo said, "Teacher Zheng, your request. This is too sudden. I have never thought about it before." "That's good." Zheng Qin said, "Back then, this teacher asked you to make a Hunshan blade, create an encyclopedia, and find a devil seed. Now you have brought them all here. Your statement is off." Xiang Cheng said, "Elder Zheng, there is only one devil seed in the world. There are many kinds of devil seeds." Zheng Qin said, "The one in your heart can give rise to more kinds of Mara seeds, each level lower than the previous. You don't understand it now, but when you become Mara, the power of the devil will multiply like a dandelion. One will give rise to two, two to three, and three into infinite." Zheng Qin sighed and said, "Where there is resentment, it serves as the soil for the devil seeds. The devil seed will take root and sprout in it, and feed that back to Mara, that is to say, the you of the future." Xiang Cheng's expression changed a little, and Zheng Qin continued, "This old man dares to ask, do you want to keep it?" "No." Xiang Cheng replied, "I'm fine as I am now." Zheng Qin said, "Back then, my Shifu developed a spell, hoping to separate it from Dinghai. Zhi Ziaduo held his breath and thought, that's great. But this spell has never been used before." Zheng Qin shook his head and sighed. "So I watched him getting deeper and deeper into it, and he was powerless. Finally, he used a method that caused great loss to both sides. He also had the idea to search for your family's 6 magical weapons. After all, they are the only thing in the world that can threaten Mara. If we can find the 6 magical weapons," Zheng Qin said, "and if we can separate the devil seed from you, we may be able to successfully destroy it. Now that we are missing one, we will have to use seals instead and temporarily seal it. In other words, Teacher Zheng, you are going to help us separate out the devil seed?" Zhi Ziaduo asked. Zheng Qin didn't speak and Xiang Cheng replied, "Let's talk later ba, Ziaduo, Teacher Zheng is tired now." "That's all right." Zheng Qin said, "You children need to think about things, and this old man also needs to think through things. Let's think about it separately. For the next few days, stay with me for now. You can't go back to the Exorcist committee until I clean it all up. Zhi Xiaoduo said, what happened with the Exorcist committee? Was it also arranged by teacher Zheng? Zheng Qin said, you two have really helped my Zhuhua sect, and this old man is very grateful towards the Xiang family. I took revenge for you over a little old grudge from the past. What about it? Nothing. Zhi Xiaoduo said nervously, when we come back, we want to contact Chen Zhen. That boy acted as the paws of the tiger, Zheng Qin said slowly, while helping the wicked perpetuate their deeds. He learned a lot of things about Zhou Mokuo and Lin Yura. Fortunately, he realized that he had lost his way and he has turned back and turned over a new leaf. He is now ready to help me. Zhi Xiaoduo. Xiang Cheng said, that's very good. I think that group of people has been unhappy for a long time. Zheng Qin said, you two want to intercede on his behalf? I didn't want to touch him at all. He will still go back after the matter is finished. Zhi Xiaoduo replied, At least let him tell Xiao Lang that he's safe. Xiao Lang is probably very worried after not having seen him for so long. Zheng Qin said, he can't show himself at the moment. Go tell his little brother that. If he trusts me, he will be able to go back once the Exorcist committee matter is over and do whatever should be done that still needs to be done. If you want to see him, I'll arrange a time for you to meet. Zhi Xiaoduo hesitated for a moment, nodded, and said, N. Zheng Qin put on his sunglasses. Zhi Xiaoduo wanted to say more, but Xiang Cheng signaled that he didn't need to say anything, and replied, then we'll be leaving. Zheng Qin nodded slowly. When Xiang Cheng was leaving with Zhi Xiaoduo, he suddenly asked another question. Teacher, I want to travel with Xiaoduo for a few days. Xiang Cheng said, can we leave? Zheng Qin turned his back to them and laughed, but they could not see his expression. Of course, Zheng Qin said, just let me give the order, and the cars in the estate will be at your disposal. All right. Xiang Cheng closed the door with ease. Tao Ran waited at the end of the corridor, made a gesture for them to follow, to a room that had been prepared for them. It was late at night when they slept. After closing the door, Zhi Xiaoduo looked left and right, a little worried. He won't monitor us here. Xiang Cheng replied, it's a complete waste of time. I think he was a bit scary tonight, Zhi Xiaoduo said. Xiang Cheng let out an absent N and replied, he still likes you very much and wants to accept you as an apprentice. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, should I agree? Xiang Cheng didn't answer. He thought for a while and asked, do you think he would want to do a trade with us? What trade? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. He didn't promise to cast the spell for us in the end. Xiang Cheng replied, I guess that's the meaning of this trade. You take him as a teacher, and he gets rid of the devil seed for me. If he wants to find a chance to talk with you alone, you should go. End chapter. Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 106. Taking a disciple. But Chen Zhen's whereabouts are unknown. Zhi Xiaoduo said, he hasn't told us where he is. Xiang Cheng sat by the bed, scrolled through his cell phone for a while, and sent a text message to Chen Lang. He then said, Chen Zhen may have also been his informant. He temporarily avoided the limelight when he took action, so that when he finished cleaning things up, he could go back to take over the Exorcist committee from a more solid position. Impossible. Zhi Xiaoduo said, Chen Zhen wouldn't do that. How much do you understand him? Xiang Cheng said, he is in too deep. At first glance, he seemed like one of Zhou Mokuo's people, but in fact, what do you think? Why did he help us when we entered the Exorcist committee? It is likely that he was spurred on by Elder Zheng. I don't think so. Zhi Xiaoduo said, a lot of things were not necessarily spurred on by his superiors, especially based on personality. He is an idealist, and he rarely succumbs to his superiors. Whatever he thinks is right, he will do it himself. Let's think about it from a different point of view. Xiang Cheng said, throw away your impression of Chen Zhen and treat him as a stranger. Why did he intervene so actively from the beginning of the Jixian case? Could this really not be related to Zheng Qin at all? Zhi Xiaoduo was shaken by Xiang Cheng. Was Chen Zhen really like this? He thought for a while and replied, I still think it is impossible. As you like, Ba, Xiang Cheng said. Zhi Xiaoduo said, here you go again. I really don't think it's necessary for us to quarrel over such small differences. Xiang Cheng said, what does it have to do with me what others do? Why do other people's actions have to affect your love for me and my love for you? You're so corny. Zhi Xiaoduo didn't know whether to cry or laugh. You're getting better and better at saying cheesy stuff. Xiang Cheng casually said, I promised Chen Lang to save his brother because I was afraid that Chen Zhen would be in danger. Today, Zheng Qin's words confirmed my guess that Chen Zhen is only in hiding somewhere. Zhi Xiaoduo sat down beside him and said, it's because of this that I think Zheng Qin is still hiding something from us. Xiang Cheng hugged Zhi Xiaoduo's shoulder and held him in his arms. They both looked quietly at the moon outside the window. Zhi Xiaoduo said, no matter where Chen Zhen went, he definitely wouldn't hide it from Xiao Lang. Xiang Cheng nodded and replied, that makes sense. What's more, are we really not going to mind the issue of the Exorcist committee now? Said Zhi Xiaoduo. Xiang Cheng also didn't answer. Zhi Xiaoduo knew that Xiang Cheng was emotional about this. He felt that Lin Yura and Zhou Mokuo had indeed started the Battle of Mount Ba and killed his parents. Xiang Cheng had also once wanted revenge, and he hadn't completely set this idea aside even now, after a long time. However, Xiang Cheng would not open his mouth to intercede for them. I don't know the actual situation of the Exorcist committee. Xiang Cheng said, but ever since I was a kid, I haven't wanted to deal with the Exorcist committee people. If Teacher Zheng is in charge of it now, Zhi Xiaoduo said, will he do better? Zhi Xiaoduo always felt that although Zhou Mokuo and Lin Yura should really be criticized for their behavior, based on the senior officials of the Exorcist committee he had met, there was always one thing that he could understand, and that was that they weren't doing things for the sake of their own interests. If they really had been, Xiang Cheng would not have survived until now. Plus, Kita, Zhou Wanyuan, Chen Zhen, and the others were still their good friends. They had to find a chance to ask about Chen Zhen's whereabouts. Zhi Xiaoduo always had questions about one thing, and that was, when he was on Mount Ba, he had seen Chen Zhen for a brief moment. That was not a dream, nor should it have been an illusion, so what exactly had been going on then? After the night passed, when he woke up in the morning, Xiang Cheng wore only a pair of underwear, and was bare as he did pull-ups on the frame of the rosewood mosquito net. His body was sweaty and bronze-colored, and the lines of his muscles were as perfect as that of a sculpture. Zhi Xiaoduo woke up with drowsy eyes and took a photo of him with his cell phone. Xiang Cheng's thing was hard, and his thin underpants could not cover it up at all. He was nearly bursting out. It's better not to do that here. Woo. I've waited for you to wake up for a long while. Xiang Cheng held Zhi Xiaoduo and pulled off his clothes and pants. Zhi Xiaoduo used his feet to slide down Xiang Cheng's underpants to his ankles. Xiang Cheng carried him to the bed, and the wind outside the window stopped while the late spring sunlight shone into the room. Xiang Cheng did him on the bed for a while, then found that uninteresting, and brought him down right to the carpet and let the sun shine on him. Zhi Xiaoduo was warmed by the sun and had to accept the repeated thrusts from Xiang Cheng. He felt so good that he was about to go crazy. An hour later, a car made some noise outside. Zhi Xiaoduo checked the time. It was already 11 o'clock. Xiang Cheng, who was feeling completely satisfied, carried Zhi Xiaoduo to the bath. The bathroom in Zheng Qin's house was more luxurious than that in a five-star hotel. When they came out of the bath, Teacher Zheng had indeed left. Tao Ran said, Shifu said that you can walk around the estate on your own. Please tell me at any time when you leave the estate, because this place is far away from Beijing, and is almost in Inner Mongolia, so it is not convenient to drive the car around. We will send people to follow you, and if you need anything, you can always give them orders. No need to be so polite. Zhi Ziaduo said, where did teacher Zheng go? Tao Ran froze, he didn't expect Zhi Ziaduo to ask so directly. If he said he didn't know, Tao Ran was Zhenqin's eldest disciple, he couldn't not know. Shifu went to the Exorcist committee, Tao Ran replied. Thank you, Shikshan, Zhi Ziaduo said politely. If he joined Zhenqin's sect, then Tao Ran would be his eldest Shikshan, with obviously more seniority than Zhi Ziaduo. Tao Ran had only come to take care of them because they were very important guests. Zhi Ziaduo saw that all the people in the Zhuhua sect were very respectful to Tao Ran, so he didn't dare to be remiss in his politeness either. After breakfast, Zhi Ziaduo proposed to take a walk in the Zheng mansion, and Xiang Chen naturally agreed. The two of them went out for a walk, and an attendant opened and closed every door on the way. They went out to the broad lawn, which was trimmed very neatly. This was a European-style manner, and Zhi Ziaduo looked at the buildings and furnishings and thought it was probably from the Republic of China era. There were many children flying kites on the lawn of nearly 100,000 square meters, which was surrounded by a long iron fence outside. A servant in the mansion came with a lawn mower. Zhi Ziaduo asked, are the children family members? They're from nearby, replied the servant, if you find them noisy, I'll ask someone to drive them away. Zhi Ziaduo hurriedly told him that there was no need. Looking at the side of Zhengqin's garden, the end of the wall was open. Now I feel like he's not that scary, said Zhi Ziaduo. Elder Zheng? Xiang Chen asked. N. Zhi Ziaduo nodded and said, a person who can let children play in his own garden may not be so bad. Are you going to take him as your master? Xiang Chen asked. Zhi Ziaduo sat down on the lawn and replied, take him ah. If the only way to have him help you remove the Mara seed is to become his apprentice, then it's no big deal to take him as master. Xiang Chen didn't say anything, but Zhi Ziaduo said, as long as we don't separate, everything else is easy. What if he wants to take the Mara seed for himself? Xiang Chen then asked. I don't think he will. Zhi Ziaduo said, he is already in his current position, so what would he want with the Mara seed? And it's not like becoming Mara is a good thing. Xiang Chen nodded and Zhi Ziaduo said, I'm still thinking about Chen Zhen's matter. Zhi Ziaduo rotated the ring around and felt that the ring was slightly hot. Zhi Ziaduo. What's the matter? Xiang Chen asked. The ring, replied Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo immediately got up and felt that Chen Zhen was nearby through Chen Lang's magic artifact. Chen Zhen is back. Xiang Chen asked. Perhaps Zhengqin had arranged for them to meet. Zhi Ziaduo walked to the fence, but there was no car outside. How far is he? Xiang Chen asked. This is not a GPS Zhi Ziaduo said, and there is no special connection between Chen Zhen and me. It takes Xiao Lang to sense him more clearly here. Let's search, Xiang Chen said. Based on the reaction from the ring, Zhi Ziaduo walked around the lawn. He walked towards the manor building, but the ring returned to its normal state. Only by walking towards the lawn could he feel some response. That's not right Zhi Ziaduo said. Pretend to take a walk, someone is watching us from afar. Xiang Chen said, don't always touch your ring. With that, Xiang Chen rubbed Zhi Ziaduo's hand, held it up, and leaned it close to his lips to kiss it. Looking at him affectionately, he held Zhi Ziaduo's left hand with both hands and knelt down on one knee. What are you doing? Zhi Ziaduo didn't know whether to cry or laugh. Proposing. Xiang Chen knelt down on one knee, raised his head, and solemnly said this, forming a flower with one hand and handing it to Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo said, "We already kowtowed to the ancestors in the sacred land law. Can't I do a proposal to make things up to you?" Xiang Cheng stood up and took Zhi Ziaduo's hand. The two of them swung their held hands around casually while walking on the lawn. Zhi Ziaduo said, "On your right." Xiang Cheng turned and wandered carelessly. Zhi Ziaduo accidentally glanced over and saw one of Zheng Qin's disciples on the terrace on the second floor, looking towards their general direction. "They are monitoring us," Zhi Ziaduo replied. "Don't worry." Xiang Cheng smiled and turned his head to say, "Can you feel his whereabouts?" Zhi Ziaduo smiled and replied, "No. This is really stupid." Zhi Ziaduo thought, "This is the first time that Xiang Cheng and I are putting on an act, and it's actually pretty fun." Xiang Cheng asked, "Where should we go?" Zhi Ziaduo said, "We seem to have passed it." Xiang Cheng picked up Zhi Ziaduo horizontally from his waist, turned around, and ran towards the place Zhi Ziaduo mentioned. "That's really enough." Zhi Ziaduo protested, "You're really hooked on this, ah?" "Wait." Zhi Ziaduo said. Zhi Ziaduo, wait. Zhi Ziaduo, wait, ah. Xiang Cheng was completely serious, wait. "Don't try to act cute," cried Zhi Ziaduo, "when one man is holding another man. Don't twirl around on the grass, it's too scary." Xiang Cheng put Zhi Ziaduo down, and Zhi Ziaduo twirled around in circles. Xiang Cheng held Zhi Ziaduo in his arms, and Zhi Ziaduo leaned against his shoulder, whispering, "He's here." Xiang Cheng. "But there's nothing here, ah," Zhi Ziaduo said in disbelief. They stood on the open lawn, without any buildings around, Zhi Ziaduo's ring burning hot. "Underground," Xiang Cheng said in a deep voice. That night, Zhi Ziaduo had dinner with Xiang Cheng. Zheng Qin had not yet returned. "Is there some secret door leading underground?" Zhi Ziaduo asked. "Even if there is, they won't let us find it," Xiang Cheng said. "Their defenses are watertight." Zhi Ziaduo immediately felt uneasy. What should they do? Go back and notify the Exorcist Committee? But even the Exorcist Committee was under Zheng Qin's control. Zhou Mokuo was under house arrest, Lin Yura had been dismissed, and Qiao Bin was in charge of the organizational department. Zhi Ziaduo felt that Qiao Bin should not have defected to Zheng Qin. Xian Hezi was even less dependable, he was one of Zheng Qin's people. But Zheng Qin had never expressed hostility towards them, and when he had sent Xian Hezi over, it had been to assist them. "What should we do?" Zhi Ziaduo said. "Do you believe him?" Xiang Cheng asked, "If you believe what he says, then do as he says." "I don't quite believe it," Zhi Ziaduo said. "It's too suspicious." Xiang Cheng said, "We must find a time when he is not around." "Maybe tonight will work," Zhi Ziaduo said. "It's too easy to strike the grass too soon and scare away the snake," Xiang Cheng said. "Let's stay here for the next 3 months. I suggest making a thorough inquiry." Zhi Ziaduo let out an N, and Xiang Cheng said, "Taoran is not the one in charge of managing the estate. I noticed today that there are patrols in the southeast corner, northwest corner, and the garden." Zhi Ziaduo. Xiang Cheng. Zhi Ziaduo replied, "Nothing." He thought to himself, "You even pay attention to other people's security measures. I've really gotten too used to you now." Xiang Cheng took a piece of paper and sketched a topographic map on it, saying, "The northeast corner is the kitchen, and the southwest corner is the warehouse. The warehouse is locked, and there are no patrols in either place. If you want to thoroughly search the entire mansion," Xiang Cheng tried to tear up the paper, but was stopped by Zhi Ziaduo. Xiang Cheng then said, "The simplest and fastest way is to set a fire." "We can't." Zhi Ziaduo said, "There are many spells and arrays here, and there must be fireproofing ones. Plus, all of them are exorcists. His disciples must be very powerful. Then we can only rely on secretly investigating. Xiang Cheng said, after being here a while, we will definitely be able to find him. Zhi Xiaoduo said, I have seen blueprints for these types of old-fashioned buildings before. Usually, there are dark rooms underground, which are air raid shelters used to avoid bombing during wars. I'm not familiar with architecture. Xiang Cheng sat astride on a swivel chair, with the back of the chair in front of him. He casually swiveled around a few times and asked, continue talking. Zhi Xiaoduo turned the paper over, turning Xiang Cheng's simply sketched picture over. With several brush strokes, he outlined the general map of the area. He said, if there is a basement, there must be ventilation openings, right? Yes, Xiang Cheng said, you reminded me, I didn't think of this before. Tomorrow, let's look for the vents. No, no. Zhi Xiaoduo said, this is only of secondary importance. If there is a vent, there is an exhaust fan. Zhi Xiaoduo glanced at Xiang Cheng. Xiang Cheng. You're too smart, Xiang Cheng said. To ensure that people in the basement do not suffocate, Zhi Xiaoduo said, this basement must be very deep and equipped with ventilation equipment to ensure air circulation, because carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen, and relying solely on natural convection can easily lead to people suffocating. Zhi Xiaoduo added, moreover, in old-fashioned buildings, the air system must be dual-wired to ensure that the ventilation does not stop due to bombing power outages, otherwise all the people in the basement would die. So, there's also a generator. Xiang Cheng said. Maybe it's done using talismans, Zhi Xiaoduo said. Maybe it's a magic array, but talismans and magic arrays can only store so much energy. You can't use them to keep the air flowing for long. Xiang Cheng said, as long as we find the generator, we can find the vent. Zhi Xiaoduo said, the premise is, a power failure. Xiang Cheng thought for a moment and said, I'll think of a way. Zhi Xiaoduo waved his hand and found a charger, hesitating over how to play with the wall socket to cause a short circuit. An engine rumbled outside. Zheng Qin's car had returned. Let's talk about it tomorrow, Xiang Cheng said. Let's watch TV and go to bed first, ba. Zhi Xiaoduo and Xiang Cheng covered themselves with quilts. It was slightly colder during the spring, and the two of them snuggled together on the bed while watching TV. Zhi Xiaoduo felt very warm, they had been together for so long, but they rarely had such leisure time. Do you want to eat some snacks? Xiang Cheng said, I'll go down to the living room and get you some. No need, Zhi Xiaoduo yawned and said. Xiang Cheng turned off the light and was about to let him lie down when there was a knock on the door outside. Xiang Cheng was going to open the door, but Zhi Xiaoduo pressed the remote control, and the door opened itself. Xiang Cheng made a joke at his own expense. I still can't get used to the life of being a domineering CEO. Zhi Xiaoduo smiled and rubbed Xiang Cheng's head. Xiang Cheng lay down in bed, regaining his domineering CEO face, and asked, what's the matter? Tao Ran was the one who walked in and said, Shifu wants Zhi Xiaoduo to have a cup of tea with him. Xiang Cheng frowned slightly, and Zhi Xiaoduo looked at Xiang Cheng. Xiang Cheng nodded slightly and motioned for him to go. If you're sleepy, I'll go back and let him know, Tao Ran said. I'm not ready to sleep yet. Zhi Xiaoduo smiled and said, I'm just lying down. Xiang Cheng dressed Zhi Xiaoduo, and Zhi Xiaoduo went out in slippers. Tao Ran led him through the corridor to the end of another corridor. He opened the door for him. Inside were two bodyguards. The light was dim, and as they walked forward, the light grew brighter. Rows of bookshelves broke up the hallway, like a maze with only one path. Zhi Xiaoduo turned left and right between the bookshelves, and finally came to the center of the study. This was a book pavilion. In the center of the book pavilion, there was a low table on which tea was being brewed. A beautiful girl kneeled at the side and served Zheng Qin, who was wearing round sunglasses and a silk jacket. His expression couldn't be seen, and he was just drinking tea. Zhi Xiaoduo saluted Zheng Qin, who nodded and motioned for him to sit down. Zhi Xiaoduo always felt that every time he saw Zheng Qin, he felt a bit older. Have you thought it through? Zheng Qin asked slowly. What? Zhi Xiaoduo said. Zheng Qin took off his sunglasses, and his dragon pupil glowed gold. He studied Zhi Xiaoduo and smiled gently at him. In this life of mine, I have seen 3 eras go by. Zheng Qin placed a cup of tea in front of Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo, thank you, teacher. The Qing dynasty, the Republic of China, and now, Zheng Qin said, I have lived for 224 years. When I was 5 years old, there was a song that everyone sang, Hessian fell, and Jiaking could eat until he was full. Zhi Xiaoduo. Jiaking. Zheng Qin said, have you ever studied this in history books? I've studied it before. Zhi Xiaoduo felt that the world suddenly felt very unreal. I have seen the Opium War, Zheng Yu said thoughtfully, when the imperial envoy, Lord Lin, left, the emperor personally sent him to Guangdong to ban opium smoking. When the Eight-Nation Alliance entered Beijing and destroyed the Boxers, I saw that too. Zheng Qin said, when the Empress Dowager left Beijing, she brought me with her. Zhi Xiaoduo held his breath and dared not answer. At the founding of the People's Republic of China, Sun Yat-sen invited me to Nanjing and let me observe the stars. At that time, I stayed in Nanjing for a long time. Zheng Qin added. What kind of person was the nation's father? Zhi Xiaoduo finally couldn't help but interrupt. Zheng Qin thought for a moment, shook his head, and said, I've almost completely forgotten. He was not tall, less than 1.70 meters. Zhi Xiaoduo nodded, and Zheng Qin said, later, when old Mao fought past the Yangtze River, and Lao Zhang ran away in a panic, after thinking about it, I didn't follow him to Taiwan. Can you guess why? For the blood devil. Zhi Xiaoduo said. Zheng Qin nodded and sighed, and Zhi Xiaoduo took a sip of tea. Do you understand tea? Zheng Qin then asked. I don't understand, Zhi Xiaoduo said with a slight smile. That's fine, Zheng Qin said, in the past, when entering our Zhuhua sect, there were strict examinations for poetry, calligraphy, the 6 classical arts, and the I Ching. It was extremely difficult to formally take us as a teacher and enter the section. Zhi Xiaoduo was a bit nervous and said, I don't know any of that. Teacher knows, Zheng Qin motioned to Zhi Xiaoduo to relax and said, but what I fear most is not the blood devil, but the lack of successors in my Zhuhua sect. Zhi Xiaoduo. Zheng Qin shook his head and smiled at Zhi Xiaoduo. The wrinkles on his face grew more apparent. Why? Zhi Xiaoduo asked, Teacher, don't you have many disciples? Do you know why my sect is called the Zhuhua sect? Zheng Qin asked. Zhi Xiaoduo blushed with shame and replied, I don't know. Zhi Xiaoduo simply didn't know what to ask and didn't understand anything. Zhu, 9. Zheng Qin said, it's the number that the Han people related to the heavens and the earth, and it's also the number of the Qian symbol in I Ching. On the 9th day of a lunar month, dragons hide in deep water, and promising people bide their time. On the 2nd day of the 9th lunar month, a dragon appears in the field, and it is appropriate to meet a lord. At the beginning of the establishment of the Zhuhua sect, during the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms era, the founder of the sect was taught divine secrets by a true dragon in Kangshan mountain, in order to understand the Dao. Zhi Xiaoduo quickly nodded, knew to applaud, and asked, what about Hua? Hua as in the Huagai star, Zheng replied, people in the Zhuhua sect learn the art of observing stars. Huagai is at the top, showing that it is better to follow the Dao than be a secular person. Therefore, the Zhuhua sect has always been sparsely populated. As you can see, Chaoran and them, even though we say they are disciples, none of them have mastered this. Why? Zhi Xiaoduo said in surprise. They didn't have the chance, Zheng Qin said. The Zhuhua sect has a magical artifact, and this magic weapon can only be used by people with the dragon Huan. Its power is sufficient to attract the power from the heavenly veins, pulverize all the evil spirits in the world, and purify evil nightmares. This magic weapon is superior to the Exorcist Committee and is dedicated to cleaning up powerful Yao and devils that even human exorcists cannot subdue. It is also the last trump card that exists to ensure the safety of the mortal world. After I leave the world, I must hand it over to the right person, and right now, there is only one person that I see. Zheng Qin slowly said. Zhi Xiaoduo was stunned, and Zheng Qin replied, without a dragon's power, you cannot make the magical weapon work. If you don't take over as the sect leader, no one will be able to use this magic weapon anymore. But isn't the Qi family also? Zhi Xiaoduo said. Qi Wei's magic is to summon dragons, and their family has a contract with dragons. The ancestors of the Qi family once made a contract with the Qiao, and it is not a dragon that appears when they cast their spells. Zheng Qin said, but it was a Jiao that had transformed into a dragon. The Zhaiwen is just a dragon's son, Zhi Xiaoduo said. The dragon bears 9 sons, each having its own characteristics. Does this also count? Zheng Qin nodded and said, Dinghai used to be a suitable successor. Such a shame it was. Shikshan, in order to gain true power, used everything he had. Zhi Xiaoduo remained silent, knowing that Zheng Qin was hinting to him that it was time to take him as a master. After a long period of silence, the girl lifted the kettle, and the tea made a sound. She poured it into Zhi Xiaoduo's cup, constantly rotating it. Zheng Qin said, this teacher's deadline is approaching. Ah! Zhi Xiaoduo said in surprise, why? Prosperity and decline is nothing but fate, and the fading of strength to weakness is also normal. My body and mind are already agreed, and I head unhurriedly and unpanicked towards death. Zheng Qin said lightly, birth, aging, illness, and death are all bound by fate. If you enter my sect, I will devote myself to teaching you everything that I learned in my life in the coming months. The 7 treasures of the Bodhi tree will also be handed over to you to inherit. In the future, all the property under this teacher's name in this manner will be yours. Zheng Qin said, the Exorcist Committee will follow your lead, and no one will care what you do. That is truly existing above tens of thousands. Zhi Xiaoduo was vaguely afraid when he heard this. Why? The Zhuhua sect people, Zheng Qin said, will have to obey your orders. Although Xiang Cheng is the king of all Yao and matches you, he is at best a worthy match. What are you waiting for? Zhi Xiaoduo hesitated for a moment and didn't know how to answer. Why did you choose me? Zhi Xiaoduo finally asked, just because I have a dragon pupil, right? Zheng Qin did not answer, and the incense in the incense burner burned to the end. Go to the bookshelf and fetch the 3rd volume on the 4th shelf, Zheng Qin commanded. Zhi Xiaoduo took down the scroll and spread it open on the table. It was a scroll painting depicting smoke and clouds swirling around a high mountain. A man with a long staff stood in front of a dragon's head, drawing down lightning and crushing the Yao and devils below. At once, he had no more doubts. Are you not afraid that after mastering such great power, I will do evil? Zhi Xiaoduo said. I understand you, Zheng Qin said leisurely, when you weren't aware, this teacher had clear insight into your every move. You are much more suitable than Taoran and are more capable of shouldering this heavy responsibility. You have passed my test. You are courageous, resourceful, and have a pure heart. The screen of Zhi Xiaoduo's cell phone on the table lit up, with Xiang Cheng's name flashing on it. The background was a selfie of the two of them snuggling together. I know you have a kind heart and can control yourself. I will give you the Zhuhua sect. Zheng Qin said, teacher is not worried. Zhi Ziaduo didn't know why in his heart, a burst of fear arose. Zheng Qin had said, when you weren't aware, so that meant that he had been monitoring his and Xiang Cheng's every move this entire time. You are in good health, Zhi Ziaduo said. There won't be any problems. 2.5 months from now, on the 15th day of July, Zheng Qin said, by that night at the latest, I will divide the Hun of the boss snake. The Hun splitting spell is extremely dangerous, and with my lifespan, this will be the end of my journey. It is even more necessary to control the power of the Mara seed, and if I do not fully exert my spiritual power, I am afraid it will be difficult to achieve great things. Zhi Ziaduo's heart jumped wildly. Tiak, teacher. Zhi Ziaduo mumbled, are you? Zhi Ziaduo vaguely understood what he meant if Zheng Qin helped Xiang Cheng host the ceremony, separating the snake Hun, and sealing the Mara seed, would consume all his spiritual power. If that happened, once he decided to help Xiang Cheng, he would no longer be able to live past the ghost festival. That was why he had to appoint an heir before he died, lest there be no successor to the Zhuhua sect after his death. End chapter.